receiving the. I wasn't.
I didn't even give you. I know.
I was like, what's going on with these lights? They just. Yeah. So anyway.
I know. I didn't even give you warning. We're just whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're just doing it.
We're doing it live.
I guess I could. Hold on. Had to make it official a little bit.
Woo! We're official.
Unorthodox of a stream starting. How's it going, everyone? How you doing? Hope everyone's having a good Monday.
Yeah.
Unless you're in Australia, then it's Tuesday.
But if you're in Japan,
or maybe even in Europe.
Yeah, I think even in Japan it's Tuesday or whatever.
Yeah.
They're a day ahead of us, right?
If you're on another planet, also.
Yeah, if you're on Mars or in a different timeline.
Yeah, it could be different. Yeah. So the word is that this is a rumor. We're just giving our take on it. Don't know. It's probably official. There's like 50 million articles that have covered this so far, including IGN, which sadly doesn't mean anything anymore. Unfortunately. Yeah. Apparently, Disney is changing Boba Fett's name from Slave One to something else because Slave is no longer appropriate.
Yeah. Yeah. So here's the deal. So, okay. I talked about this twice already today, and there was an article by Screen Rant. Screen Rant's pretty good trade. They tend to cover stuff that's relevant or that actually is official. Right. And they covered this thing, and they really made it seem like they were going away from Slave One, like Disney was going away from it. It was from a Lego thing. I had some people hit me up on Twitter and be like, no, Lego always does this. And they showed some evidence of like Lego calling something, instead of calling like the official name of a thing, they'll call it Anakin's fighter or whatever from all throughout Lego's history. But here's the thing. We don't know for sure if it's just a Lego thing or if it's a Disney-wide thing, okay? Screen Rant is really making it seem like it's a Disney-wide thing. And so, it's the newest great debate out there in the Star Wars fandom. It's very possible, and I'm sure you feel this way too, that Disney is trying to PC Slave One and PC away the name of Slave One, yeah?
That's what it sounds like. That's what the rumor sounds like, if the rumor is true in any sense. Yeah, in my opinion, I think that's complete BS. I don't think you need to go ahead and change a name that George Lucas had established because it triggers people. Like, I mean, it's a word in the English vocabulary. Boba Fett isn't necessarily a great guy. Maybe now they're going to be changing his story a little bit, and he's going to be, perhaps playing a different role. But Slave One is an iconic ship name. You hear Slave. It's not Pink Butterflies and Sunshine One. You think of Slave One, you're like, oh my God, who pilots that thing? That's not a nice guy.
Yeah,
it's supposed to strike fear. It's supposed to be like, okay, I don't want to be a slave. It's not a good thing.
Yeah, for sure.
What the heck is the point of this? I don't understand.
Yeah, I think look, if it's really a company-wide thing, that's pretty freaking weird. And you know what's so weird about it now, too, is everybody's going to be watching Mando Season 3, right? Or Book of Boba, rather. Everybody's going to be watching Book of Boba to be like, are they going to call it Slave One? Are they not going to refer to it as that at all? Or is the merchandise for Book of Boba not going to say Slave One? I'll say this, like, if they are actually doing that, they're just driving up the value of everything that calls it Slave One, and they're continuing to do this weird wedge thing between a certain part of their audience and a certain other part of their audience. Like, I saw a lot of people, dude, and I'm really interested to see like what the chat feels like tonight, like what's the temperature in the room, because I saw a lot of people being like, it's about time Slave One went away, and I'm just like,
wait, what? Who the hell says that?
A lot of people. They were like, literally, bro. A lot of people were like, "Oh, this is good. This is good that it's gone." And then there were a lot of people getting upset at people getting upset about this, as is per usual. People getting butthurt about other people's
reactions to things. Yeah, which makes no sense. So, what are they going to do about Slave Leia? Is that on a thing? Was she not a slave to Jabba then? Was she?
Dude,
what?
I'm actually glad you asked that, because I had some of the Nerd Vengers on our Discord send me their newest PC phrases for Star Wars and some of the things that we can change Star Wars into. So I will read a couple of them. First, there was X-Wing, actually. Our friend X-Wing came in and said Emancipation One instead of Slave One. Let's see. I like This one down here, Indentured Servant Leia, that also came from X-Wing. Jabba the Full Figured. You know, I kind of like that. I like this one a lot. Gentle Rain Trooper as opposed to Stormtrooper. I think that's a pretty good one.
Right.
Let's see here. TIE Quarreler instead of a TIE fighter. They could just change the whole thing into star conflicts that hopefully are peacefully resolved.
Yeah, Star Wars is a very triggering word to me and phrase. The idea of war is first of all, I'm being very serious. I don't like the idea of war, but if we're going to be a little bit satirical here, yeah, you got to change everything then.
You got to change it.
Imagine if George had actually gone with his original name for Luke and Anakin to Star Killer.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh, wait, what are they going to change Star Killer base to?
Star Killer base has to be friggin'
Life Exchanger.
Yeah, or euthanasia or something. I don't know. something like that.
And look, guys, this is if these rumors are true, which I don't know. It seems like they're covering it on every single medium out there right now, so everyone's hopping on it as a topic of discussion.
Yeah.
So we are too. We want to give our thoughts on it. I had a few people on Instagram on yesterday's post being like, "Hey, what are your thoughts on Slave One?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" So then I text Josh and I'm like, "So got any news today?" And he's like, "Slave One." And I'm like, "Yeah, what is with the deal with Slave One? I don't understand." And I just found out that they're thinking of changing the name. Is it just for Lego? Don't know.
So we hope. I mean, honestly, here's the thing. Like, I did not wake up today thinking I would spend this much time thinking about Slave One. You know what I mean? But thanks to the internet, I've actually thought a lot about this, right? And so at first, like somebody asked me about it in the morning, and I was like, you know, honestly, what a weird hill to die on. You know what I mean? Like, I honestly felt at that time a little bit more like, dude, whatever. Slave One's kind of a whack name anyways. Like, who really cares? You know what I mean? That's kind of where I started out in the day. And honestly, bro, it was this weird, like, this support for it being removed and the attitude of a lot of these different people online and the way they were talking about it. I was like, dude, there's like a lot of people here that I feel just want to try to jab and take fun away from other people. And look, I'm not this way, right? Like, I don't feel like Star Wars is personally like crapping all over all the stuff that I love, but I know there's a lot of people that feel that way. And this is probably like a bridge too far for some people, bro. Like, it's crazy to me. Like, it honestly is a little crazy to me that people are getting worked up about it. But at the same time, it just feels like another one of those Disney things where they're like, no, like, we're making it this now. Like, Anakin Saber is Rey's saber. Like, now, you know, you are going to have to, I don't know.
Well, at least, and as much as I disagree with that, at least that's like a story element kind of thing. But this is just like we don't want to offend people. Like, I'm so sick and tired of that. If someone's going to get offended by a word of the English language, don't watch TV.
Right. Yeah.
Like, you need to unshelter yourself.
Right. Yeah, no, 100%. And this is the so let me ask you this. Do you think that this could just be to sort of sell toys? And this is actually kind of interesting because at first I was like, yeah, they probably just don't want Slave on a toy, right? But then, like, you really think about it and somebody was like, so well, yeah, for sure. Like, so,
and so is the Slave One ship. Is that it? What's the problem?
A slaver? I think so. Well, even Anakin is a slave. You know what I mean? Like, he's so I saw one of the funniest memes I saw was they replaced on the Lego box Slave 1 to I'm a person and my name is Anakin 1. And I just thought that was brilliant. I was like, let's go. But yeah, I don't know. Do you think there's anything wrong with kids like seeing a ship called Slave 1? Or do you think there's anything like at all messed up about that?
I love this. As a pigeon, I'm offended by the Millennium Falcon. Falcons eat pigeons for lunch. I love that. That's so freaking hilarious. Thank you, Lutro. That's really funny. And I've been reading all the super chats that have been coming up and all the other messages. The way things are going, Donald Duck will be banned for not wearing pants. I stand with Peppy and Slave One.
It's weird, man. Why does it got to be a thing? I don't see why it has to be a thing. I feel like they're kind of making.
When I heard about it, I was just like, whatever, like, who cares? It's just the name of the ship. And then I started thinking about it. I'm like, no, like, why is it being changed?
Yeah.
For what? To not offend some people? You think those people really are going to buy your stuff anyways, Disney? No.
Yeah, that's the thing, is like
there's more of us that made that brand $4 billion than the people who are just coming in this and are like, I'm offended by the word slave. It's like,
yeah, they're gonna like make it a
thing. Get over it.
They're gonna make it a thing now, where it's like now people are gonna just want to have slave one shirts and like you know what I mean. Like they're gonna make it this thing now, where it's like,
gonna be a thing. Yeah,
yeah,
it's gonna be a thing. Yeah, for sure.
And it's funny because Screen Rant knew. I mean, that's why Screen Rant ran the article. Like they know, and all, you know, I always come back to this point, but it is still true that there's this. It's really more of a commentary on where Star Wars is actually at. The fact that like, hey man, I'd love to be talking about the new Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer today instead, right? Or I'd love to be talking about this news or that news or all these other things instead. But no, instead
whining about.
Screen Rant and IGN and everybody and their mom is running this article about them doing this because the narrative's already been established. That narrative's already been established. Disney already created this thing. You know what I mean? And so I don't know. It's. I just thought, you know, why not? Let's just have fun with it because at this point, like honestly, it's like, what are you gonna do? Like, I can't even honestly get upset at fans for being upset about this. Do you know what I mean? Like
you can't.
I really thought about it. I was like, nah, man, you really can't get upset. Like they're literally just doing nothing. And by the way, not to like go hard, but like Disney literally is the last company that should be talking about, you know, the idea.
Let's just,
like it's so crazy.
Are they gonna cancel what George said too in that interview?
Bro, like, right? Like, and who did they thank for the Mulan thing that caused them all the craziness? You know what I mean? Like, they just
I don't want to get copyright strike.
Exactly. Yeah.
So Fett dies. Mando gets Slave One and renames it to Liberty One. Yeah. And look, again, let me make this very clear. It might just be for the Lego set.
Yeah.
You know,
hopefully.
Because when I was a little kid and I saw, you know, Lego sets of Slave One and Slave Leia, I was extremely triggered, and I grew up with a lot of issues because of that.
That is exactly
I'm
why
still recovering from it today. So I'm very glad that they're putting this in effect. Because
that is why I am the total dick face that I am today. Is because when I saw the Phantom Menace and they were like, they're slaves on this planet, my brain exploded and I became evil and corrupt beyond any doubt, beyond any shadow.
This is a thing. Yeah. You know what? Crazy. Like, let's just focus on them making good stories, which they have been so far. I mean, as of lately, and let's just continue that trend. But it is what it is. Someone else said, talk about the other Lego sets that were the names that were changed. I'm unaware of this.
Yeah, so there are other Lego sets. We talked about this already. So there's, you know, we already had said that it could just be a Lego thing. There were plenty. There's evidence that other Lego sets have also had their names changed, and that sometimes Lego does not give the exact name of the ship on their product. For sure, that's totally still absolutely possible. But again, everybody is going to be watching now and trying to pay like this. They made it a thing, man. You know what I mean? So like now. Whether or not, like, even that person that sent that chat, even these people that are like, no, it's just the Lego. All y'all are going to be checking it out. And then as soon as it comes out, whether it's going to be in the show, in the post-credit scene, on the next official piece of merchandise, on the poster, whatever, you guys are going to retweet it. You're going to be like, ha, 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 told you. And then it's a thing. And now it's going to be a thing. Now we're talking about how Disney destroyed our childhood by removing Slave One as a name.
This is a great point, Matt Cave, and thanks for the $10 and the membership. He says, was Anakin ever truly free from slavery? No, he never was. He was born into slavery with Watto. Then he was a slave to the Jedi. And then he was a slave to Palpatine.
True.
And then he died.
Dang.
He was free for maybe like a minute when he took the helmet off.
Yeah, man.
And that was it.
Luke freed him. It's pretty deep.
Well, kind of freed himself, but Luke was the catalyst, I feel like.
True. Well, I mean, yeah, but Luke helped him see. Right?
Yeah, Luke helped him. Yeah, if it wasn't for Luke.
Kids are taught about the slavery in schools. This is true.
Yeah, I mean, it's an important part of our history. We need to understand that there have been so many different groups that have been slaves in our time as humans on Earth. And I think using the name Slave One isn't endorsing that idea. I think it's just a term of
No,
the
not at
English
all.
language. It's Leia was a slave of Jabba. It's a bad thing. Slave One is a slaver ship. He Boba Fett captures people, like he captures slaves. He's not really
Plus,
a great guy.
I feel like it says something about. By the way, it's just that he's a bounty hunter, right? So he gets a slaver craft. It's this dope craft meant for I don't know exactly, so I don't want to like speak out of turn, but I believe it was for either a prison or a slave planet, and they would be bringing slaves, but also going out to capture slaves. And like, dude literally retrofits a slaver craft because he's so brutal as a bounty hunter that he's gonna treat these bounties essentially like slaves. Yeah, that's pretty bad. It's not the best look, you know what I mean? But he's a bad guy, especially when we first see him. I think they're gonna make him a little bit more of a hero. So let me ask you this, just because it is interesting. Now that maybe with Book of Boba and all these other things, they may be trying to turn Boba into a little bit more of a hero. I mean, does that
I'm fine with that. Yeah.
change anything about like could he not still be a hero in Rock Slave One? Like, would that be a bad look? Do you think he would rethink it?
I don't know anymore because it's they keep doing these changes, which takes me out of the story. It like,
Yeah.
you know, it takes you out into the third person and like, or into the fourth dimension, and you're like, why would he do this? And then you're like, wait, would these executives changed it? And then it's
Right,
like,
exactly.
there's
You
no
start
real
thinking
reason.
about like optics and shit like that. You
Any
totally
moment-
lose track of the characters of the organic place and the stories. Yeah.
Any moment that a story takes me into the fourth dimension where I'm not thinking anymore, why would this character do that? Because it's so absurd. And I realize that, okay, these writers did it that way for whatever reason. That's when you lose me. That's when you lose the immersion of the story, and it's just not as enjoyable anymore.
Yeah, let me ask you this, because I have actually not thought too much about this, but it's but it is kind of an interesting fact. Do you think that George specifically put the slavery in episode 1 because he was actually trying to make a statement about the Jedi and about how they essentially went to this slave planet, but even Qui-Gon says like, I didn't come here to free slaves. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Anakin's whole thing was about freeing. He wanted to come back and free the slaves, and his mother was a slave, and then he was a slave, and it's like this. That's the whole, and that's a huge theme of Star Wars, right? And George's idea of creating Star Wars didn't really come from essentially being a slave. It came from the Vietnam War and this and that, and wanting to basically have the small guy fight against a big machine, such as the Empire. I was literally just reading this today in the Star Wars archives.
Yeah, but that's the OG stuff.
Yeah. Which was all based on the prequels because he had that idea first.
Well, yeah, but when he specifically do you think that he always had Anakin as a slave? I don't know. That feels like a prequel idea. Like that feels like something that he was like, let's make Anakin a slave.
No, eventually he had it like originally he had it as Star Killer. So Anakin and Vader were two different people.
Oh, yeah. Was either of them a slave, though, you think? Because what I'm getting at is, like, what do you think he puts that into the story? You know what I mean? In the organic sense, like...
It's a tragedy.
Yeah, for sure. But I think there's part of it is, I think, to illustrate that, like, even the good and the light side in this, like, prophetic wave moving through the galaxy, even that doesn't necessarily right every wrong along the way. Do you know what I mean? Like even in this is in Tolkien a lot too, where like Frodo sees a lot of injustice along the road. You know, there's a lot of things that he should or wants to go help out, but he's got a mission, dude. Like he's got to destroy the ring, right? So like there's this idea of your duty or your mission or whatever being like you can't stop and right every wrong, right? And in some ways, yeah, it's kind of interesting.
You can't fix the world. You can't fix other people's opinions. You can, and also an opinion. I'm really trying to rewire my brain to understand that there is no right and wrong to an extent. They're all just opinions, and you know, I don't really think anyone wakes up saying that I want to do this because it's bad.
Right.
You know, I think people just have a certain understanding where they think that their values are aligning in this direction, and compared to my values that may not coincide, so that I may see it as wrong, but from their point of view, I'm wrong. And that's really how I'm trying to think of things. So it's like, in my opinion, even how I see the Sith now, I'm like, okay, well, they're not necessarily purely evil. They just think that they are doing what's best for the galaxy and what's best for them. And it's like Thanos. Thanos was a jerk off, but he was, he thought he was doing something great.
Yeah, for sure.
From psychologically, from his mind, he thought he was doing a good thing. And Anakin, I mean, he did some of those horrible things in Star Wars, in movies.
Right.
But for him, he felt like he was doing something for the greater good. But he wasn't.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting theme, and it's interesting that slavery is in there that way. But again, when you're doing sort of a mythological retelling of basically all of our ancient stories, I mean, slavery is around for thousands of years. You know what I mean? It was a huge part of almost every major culture that existed. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's interesting, man. It's a disenfranchised. It's a story of like a disenfranchised people. And Rey, even though she's not a slave, is essentially in the same boat. She's like
kind of is
indentured to what's his face, or the new Watto. You
the
know,
new Watto.
Blur
Unkar Plutt.
Unkar butthole face.
Yeah. Fish face.
Fish face, dude. Yeah, so it's like the same kind of thing. It's just meant to show like a disenfranchised person that is working a lot for very little. You know what I mean? I think it's just the idea.
Right.
So, I guess what we basically have come around full circle to is that if we just change the name of Boba Fett's starship, we would solve a lot of the world's problems and instantly create.
We would solve world hunger,
light, happiness.
We would solve
all around the world. Yeah,
death around the world. It would everything would be better. Yeah.
Yeah. So now I've flipped again, just so everybody knows, and now I'm anti-Slave One to the core.
Lego has renamed the Bad Batch's ship, the Razor Crest, Kylo's ship, Anakin's ship, Grievous' ship, Ahsoka's ship, and many others aren't called by their ship name. You're right, Josh. I'll be watching. So what did they change it to?
Boba's Star Cruiser or whatever. Let's see here. It's Boba's Fett Starship.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So Boba Fett Starship.
Okay. Well, whatever. Look, there are bigger things in the world to worry about, but I'm just saying, you start. It's a slippery slope. You start down this path, and all of a sudden, you're going to be changing a lot of things within Star Wars just to appease or to censor or to. I'm tired of it, man. Like, I don't want that.
It's just weird. Again, it's just weird. I think that legitimately all the people that it's hypocrisy, right? The thing is that ultimately I think what it comes down to is it's hypocrisy, it's corporate, changing, it's all these things that I think a lot of people normally just on a base level don't like.
Look at this.
What's up?
X-Wing says, thank you, X-Wing. He says, it's not just Lego. 3 weeks ago at Wonderfest, a model maker was live streaming. He has the clip and said, here's Boba Fett Starship model. Didn't want to change the name, but that wasn't our decision.
What?
Yeah, someone else up here said,
bro, they're making a Han shot first, but against their whole company. You know what I mean? Like, why do they do this? Like, why? I don't understand the rationale of this company, bro.
What did they do?
Like, if they're really doing this, like, if they're really going to just say across the board, Slave One is over. We're never making Slave One again. We're never going to reference Slave One. We're not saying Slave One. That's really the company line now. Like, dude, they're just doing a weird. They're going to make this cult following sort of crazy fissure in the fan base. It's just like one more thing, man. Like, honestly, it's just frustrating. Like, there's
identical brother trooper. That's funny. Over 40-year-old icon name addressing Disney's uncomfortable addressing iconic name. Slave One is forever. Yeah, I'm gonna call it Slave One. I've known it as Slave One since I was a kid.
Yeah, man.
Well, we're gonna change it now because people get triggered over. Nobody gets triggered over the name Slave. It's a freaking ship from a bad dude. Like, the word slave means that you are a slave. Like, I don't understand how else to explain this. I don't understand why this is something that needs to be changed. If you want to change something, change Luke's arc in the end. Like, don't change these names.
Yeah, it's wild, bro.
Again, if it's a Lego thing, whatever. But man, I had Boba Fett's ship when I was a kid, and it was Boba Fett's ship. It was Slave One every time.
One. That's the ship.
That's the ship. Shadows of the Empire. Oh my God, it's Slave One,
dude.
It's not just that's. What are we? Millennium Falcon. What's that going to be now? The Han Solo's ship.
Han Solo's cruiser. Hang on. Why is this? I want to look this up now. Why is
Lego named it because there have already been lots of Lego Slave Ones in the past, and sometimes looking up Slave One brought up certain inappropriate. You know what? I have the Slave One downstairs from Lego. I'm gonna go check it.
Zam Solar Ship to Getaway Destroyer. All right, so I'm on Reddit looking up why it's even called Slave One. Jango Fett simply names it when he takes it from Ovo for prison. There was never a specific reason or for why he chooses the name. Yeah, so apparently it was never actually given a name, but that is an older one. Let me see here from Wikipedia. Yeah.
Look at this.
Let me see. Hang on. Let me pull it up.
I've still been saving this for like a live stream.
Does it say Slave One on it?
It says it on the top right here.
Dude, I can't believe you're showing that to everyone right now. You're canceled. You're a monster.
Slave One.
Dude, you're a monster. You're a monster.
So this is obviously being freaking changed for some reason.
Yeah, man. So check this out. You know why it's called Slave One?
Why?
Jango just stole a ship from a slaver's planet, and he just called it Slave One. Or it was a jail.
Slave One, right there.
Yeah, it doesn't really have. There's no.
Esclavo One sounds cool. Yeah, I'd be down with that.
Yeah, it's called Slave One, guys. I don't know what else to tell you.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. If I guess,
I hope the name is still canon.
Look, X-Wing's saying it's not.
Like legit, it's actually changed in canon.
Well, I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see.
Gonna wait and see.
We'll wait.
Yeah.
What? Like what?
Well, 27 minutes talking about this. I think it's enough.
Yep.
This is Disney listening to the Twitter mob and taking. But is anyone actually like this? Is
dude, who's offended by Slave One? Please, okay. Here's the thing: I can understand someone being like, "Oh, all the people that are getting butthurt about this are being too butthurt." Maybe that's what Star Wars fans do, though. I would argue that's what Star Wars fans do. But you might be onto something there. But who's honestly offended by Slave One? Like who? Like. That's weird to me. I just don't see it. I don't understand it. Theory just exposed Disney.
Yeah.
They put that on.
I honestly don't really know what to say anymore. It's just a little silly. It's a little. I don't think anyone's. Yeah, exactly. I don't think anyone's really offended.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great point. Do veterans get offended by war movies?
Well, I mean, like even that is like more of a clear distinction. Do you know what I mean? Like again, not to like go there, but like there's only one place currently that has anything you might call a slave, and it's not over here.
Have you seen Hayden Christensen's new photos that surface on Star Wars Leaks? Josh,
yeah, he looks good.
No, show me. I find it. Where is it?
I actually was gonna post it on Twitter earlier.
My boy getting jacked.
Oh yeah, he's looking for jacked. Dude, he also has a sick pair of joggers on.
The only people offended by Slave One are the same people who think Watto, Jar Jar, and the Trade Federation were racist caricatures.
I mean,
they kind of were.
Yeah, that's a little different to me. I feel like, especially the Trade Federation, maybe not racist, but
definitely the Trade Federation, dude.
They're at the very least racially insensitive. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is.
But this is George's story. I mean, what can I say?
I don't know. I don't know, bro.
But
I don't know, bro. Here it is,
George.
Bro.
Let me just say this before we continue. George wasn't doing that. I don't believe, in my opinion, my theory, to be racist. He was doing it because of political past events.
Yeah, of course.
And if you want to know more about those, Google it.
Dude, I think this is like I don't want to get too deep down this, but I think implying that word is like should make certain people feel uncomfortable. That's more racist than anything. Like, who the fuck takes ownership? Oh, sorry, I shouldn't swear, but who takes ownership of that? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, nobody in their right mind just hears that word and just is offended, I think, personally. And I think that imagining that a certain group of people or a certain type of person automatically can't handle that word on a box, that's patronizing. That's crazy to me. But anyways, here's jacked up.
Isabella says, I'm super far left and no one is offended, I swear. Thank you, Isabella. I appreciate that. I don't care where you are on the political spectrum, as long as you're nice, you're cool with me. And that's nice to hear.
Look at this, man.
New photos of Hayden Christensen show he's bulking up and growing out his hair. That only seems purposeful if Anakin's in fact in the Kenobi. He isn't in the Kenobi series.
Oh, here's another one. Oh,
yeah, dude,
look at this pectorals. Pectorals.
Dude, pectorals popping.
Yep, he's got this, and he's, you know what? And he's
traps are popping.
Whoa, he's holding big old grocery bags. Let's look at the size of these grocery bags. Dang, my man's holding like all the bags, and he's holding.
There's a youngling.
He's gonna save that youngling for later. Super cool. And look at these joggers.
Dude, wearing, like abs coming through. Look at the abs coming through right there.
Damn, yo, he's got the abs coming through.
That should have been today's topic. God damn it.
Yeah, let's actually retake the whole stream and just do the abs as the thumbnail. Just like here, and then do an arrow and a circle, and we'll do like just a 6-pack washboard abs over there.
Chat, I want to ask what your opinion is. Should Josh and I create a Nerd Theory Clips channel, or just have highlighted clips?
I think that'd be really funny.
Yeah.
What is happening? Why is my
could give some people some jobs too.
Some jobs. Yeah, some jobs in the market.
Get paid. Changing subject. What are your guys' thoughts on if Delta Squad was sent in to take out the Bad Batch? Oh, I think.
Yeah, how about that Bad Batch?
That'd be pretty cool. I don't have the poll thing yet. I was gonna say.
Well, I had it on a channel that I lost.
Yeah,
freaking Warner Brothers. By the way,
Patrick, I didn't read your donation. Geez, I'm sorry.
I just want to tell all of the fine viewers of Nerd Theory, those that don't want to cancel me, that due to a copyright problem with Warner Brothers, we had our live stream channel completely taken away for a week. So we've been streaming on our regular channel, and we don't have all of our fun, cool stuff that we have over on the live streaming channel. We'll be coming back on Wednesday over at the Den of Nerds Live. It would be dope if y'all checked out that live streaming channel on Wednesday, because that's crazy.
What's going on, M?
Mark Austin. Oh, yeah. I saw this Mark Austin guy. I gotta be honest though. When was he Boba Fett?
Who's Mark Austin?
He apparently was
yo. Mark Austin is the Boba Fett from the 1997 special edition Star Wars.
In episode 1 or 4 rather, where they have Boba in the scene.
5.
5? He's in Empire?
I'm too afraid to Google it in case I'll be wrong.
I bet he was probably the dude that let's see here.
Mark Austin, Boba Fett. Oh yeah, I'm right. Yeah. Graphic artist at Industrial Light and Magic who worked on the 1997 special edition of Star Wars Episode 4: A New Hope. He also played Boba Fett when the character was added into the film for the special edition.
Yeah, it's episode 4. He's Boba when you see him with Jabba. I was right.
Oh, why'd you have to call me a derp, man?
It's for you, derp. Wait, what? Oh, okay, yeah. I was like, what's he say? Saying.
Dude, they're so mean to me.
Dude, they're so mean to me too, man.
Who's your favorite Star Wars character? Qui-Gon.
Kit Fisto.
Really?
Dude, that damn smile, bro. You seen that smile? That Kit Fisto smile? Yeah, it's like it's cheesy as all get out, but it's
good.
It's real good.
Rex
Should've
has to
pulled that
team
off.
up with Gregor and Wolf at some point. Hope we see it on the Bad Batch.
Be sick. I mean that. Hey, by the way, did you see that after we talked about the rumor of Inquisitors in Obi-Wan, like a couple other places basically confirmed that? Like a couple other places were like, "Yeah, we're hearing that there's an Inquisitor in Kenobi," and I was like, "What? We done just talked about that." So a little more evidence to the rumor.
Yo, Callus, my boy.
What up, Callus? Callus, let us know. Where do you stand on the Slave One thing?
Bring him in here. Get him the link.
Where is he?
I'm gonna
Callus,
end
where
the
you
stream
at?
soon, anyways. But
He's probably like not even ready to stream, and he's gonna be mad at me for calling him out, sending him the shit. But let's see.
everyone's talking about M Angel's profile picture. Is so funny. So M Angel she's a very good friend and loyal viewer of the gaming channel. I guess this channel too. I know. I think you started out on this channel, didn't you?
Are you sure she's a female?
No, we video chatted.
But what if she was Avatar video chatting?
No.
What if it's me?
No.
What if it's an elaborate ruse? What am
Then
doing
I
again?
would say, what's going on, Josh?
Hello there.
Yeah, we got
All right,
plans
let me
today.
send this.
What do you guys think of Vader
dodgeball
appearing on
game.
Bad Batch? I would love it if Vader appeared on Bad Batch. It'd be great.
Yeah, I'm hoping he does.
But we'll rename his ship Mace 1 after he kills Mace, right, Josh? Ha!
No, yet.
Sorry, Patrick.
What Patrick saying? Let me see.
Let me see. Patrick, can you just say it again?
Oh, he was like, "Bro, you missed my donation."
Yeah. Which I've seen a million times, but I didn't see his donation on. Oh, here we go. If you search Slave One on Lego.com, the new one won't come up. Only the retired old ones. That's just sad. What?
The new one doesn't come up for the Slave One search, is what he said
Get out of here.
on Lego.com.
Get out of here. No way. Are we doing an impromptu mini council right now
We can do an impromptu.
for 10 minutes?
Let's do it. Let's impromptu it up.
All right.
You can bring in my.
I
alter
don't.
ego that's
Yeah, I
catfishing
don't
you.
even know if anyone's going to be around because we haven't had them
Everybody-
around for like 5 million years. But
Yeah, everybody went to the market, and they're shopping for maroons and peaches from California. Yo, you watch Loki yet or what?
Nope.
Come on, man.
I'm busy, bro.
Oh, this guy's busy. Too busy for Loki, huh?
I'm busy. I make time for the stuff that I really want to watch. I mean, I really want to watch
man.
Loki, but I'll get to it.
Bro, you want to know a funny story? This is
And
totally off
and
topic.
before you say that, notice
Yeah.
chat. Notice if I get
Yeah.
spoiled by Loki, I'm not gonna whine because obviously I do not care enough about it to watch it right away.
Yeah.
So
that's fair. Let's spoil it for everybody right now. No, I'm just kidding. Dang, what was I gonna say? I forgot what I was gonna say, but I'll say this: you should get that sick dodgeball game and play it with me. Oh, here's what I was gonna
Sure,
say.
yeah.
I went to the arcade theory, okay, and there was these prize things where, like, if you could knock off this box or get this lever to perfectly stop and go into this thing, that you could get a prize, right? And I don't care about these things. But then I saw these sick Dragon Ball Z statues. Frieza with a freaking like crazy death ball in the air. Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, bro. So not only did I waste
What?
all my money trying to win those things, then I went on Amazon and I bought a few of them. Bro, don't do it. You'll go crazy. You'll go way too crazy.
wait.
and then-
What did they look like?
dude, I'll show you as soon as mine. Get here
Are
and
they-
put
are
them
they-
on
are they-
display.
Are they miniatures?
I think they're like this big. They're these statues. I bet somebody in chat knows the brand. I think it's like
Because
a bandana.
I bought like I think about 100 of them in Europe when I was 20 something, and then I gave a whole bunch of them away and only kept my favorite ones. There's one I have in the other room. The other one is elsewhere, but I'm gonna get that one in case this is what you're.
Yeah. Let's see here. So, will the slave circuit allowing for remote control of a ship's systems be canceled as well? Logical conclusion to clearly illogical thought. Slave circuit. Is there a slave circuit remote control system on all ships? Well, then they're all canceled.
So is this one of them?
No, but that's dope. Okay, that is sick.
So I've got like a million of these little figures.
Oh,
so
do you still have those?
Yeah, dude,
might be-
I've got probably like, I think I only have 10 left.
Yeah.
But they're pretty like, dude, I have a Super Saiyan 3 Broly,
Nice.
which never happened. But
Hey, why not, dude?
I got a Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta.
Sick. Let me just see what I can. I'll just look up my Amazon shit and see what they're called. Oh man, look at
Hey,
this.
Chad, have you
Jiren.
ever
Did
noticed
you-
that Vegeta's like Darth Maul? What?
He is. Did you watch Super? Dragon Ball Super.
I haven't finished it yet.
Ooh, okay. Well, then you won't know who Jiren is exactly.
No, I know who he is though.
Okay, let me put this.
I don't really know much of him, but I know Colleen says, so will the slave circuit allowing for remote control of a ship's systems be canceled as well? Logical conclusion to clearly illogical thought. I don't know. The Empress has returned. Oh, can you send? Well, I could do it, I guess. Can you send Lauren the link too?
Yes.
Do you have her?
Yeah.
No, not you. Sawyer.
Oh, me.
Did you want to send it to her?
Sure.
Okay, I don't
Look,
even.
I'm gonna-
I don't go on Twitter.
I'm gonna share this
I haven't even opened it.
screen just so I want to show you this. Sick. Unfortunately,
Wait.
the other one is not cute.
How do I
What's
do
up?
Just the same link that I sent you.
Okay.
How have you
so
been?
funny. We were on a Zoom call for 3 hours last night, just the two of us.
Dude, check this out, bro. And it looks
Oh, damn, I want
clean.
Yeah, I want that.
Oh yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, dude. And then I was checking out and I thought I was done, and I saw this Jiren that was just jacked, dude, and just boom, uppercut, and I was like, there goes another $50.
Let me send a link. Yo, since chat's so simpy for M, I'll send a link to her too. She actually knows a lot about Star Wars.
It's gonna be really hard for me to do my catfishing live, but I'll figure it out.
Salute you guys anyway.
What's up, man?
What's up,
How
Cal?
y'all
are you?
doing?
Good, man.
Pleasure to be here. Pleasure.
Yeah, I want to know both of your thoughts about the Slave One thing. I saw you in chat earlier, Cals, but I don't think I saw your take on it or whatever.
Yeah, I made a short little video about it too, at 3 minutes. For me, it just didn't trigger me because they haven't removed it, or as far as I know, they haven't removed it from canon. So to me, it's just a marketing sort of a tactic for normies, just from my perspective. As I look at it, it's still on StarWars.com. They haven't said anything about renaming the ship. It's just how they want to refer to it for branding purposes, right? So at this point, I'm not triggered unless they come out and they say, okay, now it's going to be called this going forward.
Right.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm hearing.
Yeah, that's fair. But X-Wing did say that it's at least more than the Lego thing. So if I guess as sort of a side question to that or whatever, a third option, if you will, if it's a branding thing for official merch and then they don't say it on the show, but they technically don't change it in canon, it's still Slave One, but they don't really. Is that the same thing to you?
To me, it is. To me, it
Okay.
is. For me, it'll always be Slave One. You know
Right.
what I mean? So just calling it Boba Fett Starship is not a big deal to me. If we're talking about that for for Lego Star Wars or for any merchandise for that matter, but we have the Book of Boba Fett coming up. We've got Mandalorian season 3 coming up. So there's opportunities for them to call it out by name. And if in those in one of those two shows they happen to do that and it's changed, well, then we can have a different conversation. But for me right now, it's still Slave One, and they're just referring to it as Boba Fett's starship for that purpose. Like, I mean, in my video, I made a reference. Like, if I tell my wife, like, "Hey, can you go pick up Slave One for my son?" She's not going to know what the hell I'm talking about. But if I say go and pick up Boba Fett's starship, she's seen the shows enough to know what that looks like. So she would go and pick that up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's just where I am right now.
I really like Darth Chaco. I don't know if we got a. I don't know if he's
I sent him the link.
But he made a video about it today, and he basically was saying, well, when you buy, like when a kid is, a kid now is probably not going to know that it's called Slave One. They're going to be like, Mom, oh my God, that's Boba Fett's starship. Can I have a Lego set? So I think, I'm totally agree with Callus there. My car, my previous car that I had was named Slave One. I'm still going to call it Slave One. Like, so.
But you don't get butthurt over the term Slave One, though. That's the thing.
Oh, no, I don't get butthurt. It is. Lauren!
What up?
Did you move? Oh, are you back home?
Oh yeah, I'm.
Oh yeah, right.
In the guest house. Yes.
Nice.
And your parents forced you to watch The Mandalorian. How nice.
No, he tried. He tried to grab. My dad grabbed me around without having access to my arms, and he tried to drag me.
Dang, that's commitment, dude.
That's so
Shout out to Dad. Yeah,
That's
what the
awesome.
heck did you do to get out of that?
He let me go.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
But anyway, yeah, I just, it's a Lego set, and I totally agree with Callus. If we get to Book of Boba in a couple of months, and they're like, oh, this is, something else, then we can talk about it. But People in Theory server were having a discussion about it earlier, and it's only been named in it was only named or called Slave One by, I think, Aura Singh in the Clone Wars a couple of times. So I think there's actually probably a lot of people who don't even know that it's called Slave One.
Yeah,
so I don't think
saying there's a lot of fake Star Wars fans out there.
I just think for the meantime it's a non-issue. We're all nothing's gonna, even if Disney was to be like, oh, we're changing it, we're all six of us right now, we're all gonna call it Slave One still.
Of course, but we're just talking about how it could be a slippery slope, and if they continue with this, then Anakin never killed the younglings, Anakin didn't do this and that, and they're going to change a whole bunch of other story elements, and that's where it could go.
I hope not.
Yeah, I don't think though that because even as recent as that Muchi episode, they refer to slavery in that episode. So I don't think that they're shying away from slavery. So that's why I don't know.
It's probably just a toy thing.
Yeah, I think it's just for the purpose of branding.
That's what I brought up to when I was having that discussion earlier, because they're not going to get rid of the fact that Twi'leks, were subject to slavery. That topic is not going away anytime soon.
Mm-hmm.
If they eradicated that would be that would take away a large part of, certain characters' stories. So
yeah. Somebody had just brought this up. Just shout out to Callum Cannon on Twitter that said they were watching the stream. And they said that the reason Boba would never change it is because Jango was a slave until he killed his oppressors, and that's why he named the ship Slave One. And so it's just a kind of a part of the history or whatever for that particular character, which is interesting. Yeah.
But that's diving into lore.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so that's why right now they haven't touched the lore yet. This is, at least from my perspective, I'm just looking at it from a merchandising perspective. So through my eyes, I just see it as them trying to sell some toys right now. And they haven't touched the lore. I mean, it's a simple move for them to go onto StarWars.com and take it off of StarWars.com. And it's still there as Slave One.
True,
so that's,
So that's the question then. I mean, really, if it is just branding, I mean, you're talking about something that's been a staple in the community for a long time. We all know Slave One is Slave One. Do you really benefit? Do you get that many more toy sales from changing it? Now we're not supposed to call it that anymore?
No,
but we know. So we're gonna go.
Can I say this dude, look how far he's come. Go
Yeah.
away.
I know.
Yeah, he,
actually,
like, his, like,
you were on an
Wi-Fi was
iPad and you couldn't
His
get
camera
in,
was like
yeah.
a potato from 1982,
Yeah,
and now he's
man.
like full on streamer mode. Dude, I love
He
it.
is a YouTuber
This is
now.
great.
I know, right? That's
It's
awesome.
all because of you guys,
Great.
man. I love it. It's been a long journey.
Chaco!
Hey, Chaco, what's
What
going on,
up?
Yo,
What's up?
What's up?
Yo, I think X-Wing was about, or did you make your point? I don't know. Did you?
Did you?
I'm-
So,
I
what's your
mean-
channel name? What's your channel name for everyone watching?
X-Wing.
Okay.
It's just X-Wing. It's always been
All right.
X-Wing.
How'd you just get X-Wing? That's pretty good.
Yeah, well, it was funny. I was thinking about it because Theory's like, nobody knows anybody by their channel name anymore. It's just by their subscribers. So I'm like, you know what? We'll just stick with it. Whatever.
What?
I could.
When
I
did I
could be
say
something
this?
else. You did say that. Yeah, you're like, because I told you there were like 647 different X-Wings on YouTube.
Oh,
And so people don't
okay,
really know. Yeah, they just know you by like
Okay,
your
yeah.
subscribe. Yeah,
In
yeah.
that
So
case, yeah,
so
how else
it's
are they gonna know you? Yeah.
whatever. I'll just keep it. I like it, and it all kind of transformed into this whole community. Now we've got the hangar bay and all my
Nice.
pilots and all
Oh,
this
cool,
different
man.
stuff.
There
Yeah,
you go.
Respect.
I
but
made
yeah,
a YouTube channel. There's no YouTube videos on it yet, but you can subscribe.
It's like my TikTok.
And
I love
Lauren
your
has a
TikTok,
great
man.
TikTok video idea, and I keep telling Lauren that she needs to make this TikTok video, and all of you should tell her that she needs to make this TikTok video.
I
Is it,
might. I
reaction
might.
to
I
You
just have to
should.
figure it out first.
What TikTok video?
Yeah, what's the TikTok? video?
I figured something out lore wise that a lot of people have been asking questions about, and now Sawyer is going to post about it.
well now I'm intrigued.
What? What is it?
I'm definitely.
So
What is it?
I saw this TikTok. It must have
maybe
been
don't
a
tell
fever
me.
dream. Because I can't. What?
Maybe don't tell me, because then people will know it and then they'll do it.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was being super quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you should make it because it was a great idea that I haven't heard anybody say yet, and it belongs on TikTok or YouTube.
Not sharing it is a promise that you're gonna make it. Otherwise, we don't get the information.
Right.
Yeah, because I'm gonna freak out if I don't hear what it's about.
That's true.
I kinda
Maybe
wanna
it'll
know
be my
right
only
now.
TikTok video ever, but
Okay, Chaco, what's your opinion on the name,
Yeah,
possible
man.
name change, the rumor name change?
Talk to us, Chaco. We're ready to riot.
No, where I'm at with it is there's no indication that like the canon name Slave One is being changed, and if Disney thinks that they are better suited by distancing themselves from the name, which to be fair is not prevalent in a lot of media. I mean, I think it was mentioned by name on an episode of the Clone Wars, and that's really about it. And I would be upset if they were changing the canon name. But if they are going to be changing the boxes on toys, which, on Lego, there are so many like ships with names that we are given. It's this person's ship. It is General Grievous's ship instead of Solus One. It's,
Right.
It's not uncommon. It's not out of the question. I realize they had Legos, called Slave One in the past, but I also imagine Book of Boba Fett is coming out. There's going to be a big marketing push. There's going to be a big sales push. They don't want any of the negative media.
This was definitely
I
a
don't know.
great way to avoid negative media. Totally worked. Good job, Disney.
I just wonder, like, is it worth it? I mean, there's a lot of uproar in the community. People are, I mean, it definitely creates buzz. I know. I already bought. I was on Amazon. I bought a Slave One T-shirt. I'm like, well, I guess that's going out the window. Like, I'll get one now.
Yeah.
What do we really? Is there a bit? Were people really that offended by it? And if they are, why have we not heard this before? Is my question. What's the root issue there?
I mean, the way that I picture it is not necessarily somebody being offended, and more thinking about the parents buying the toy, and more thinking about, there are, I mean, it's hard to believe, but there are so many adults who have never watched Star Wars or aren't familiar with the lore. And so then when they're looking to buy their kid a Star Wars toy, they may be more inclined to buy them something that says Boba Fett ship instead of Slave One, because they may not even know what the heck Slave One is.
Exactly.
So I think about it in those terms. I don't think that they're going to change like T-shirts from like Slave One to Boba Fett ship. I think it's more relegated to that.
Yeah.
So it's more for like children and stuff like that. I super agree. And I was talking to Chaco on TikTok today because I was peeved yesterday. And then I saw Chaco's TikTok and he totally leveled me out. I'm like, you know what? I'm overreacting. This is not a big deal. Why am I thinking this way? And then Matt Rissman, Echo Base Network Mod, sent me that 3 weeks ago that they were coming to private model companies and making them change the name of it as well. And I just thought that was kind of weird because, you know, parents are, I mean, maybe, but these were like advanced adult models. They're not kids models. I just thought it was weird that they were talking to them too.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's weird. That is weird. I mean, it's technically falls under the purview of toys, so I could see maybe it being some weird blanket corporate side thing. But you know, I think for me, it's definitely not a super big deal. But given where Star Wars is currently at, I mean, dude, Screen Rant, like I'm just saying that Screen Rant will not have ran this article like this 2 years ago. Do you know what I mean? Like we're at a place now where the popular media is using Star Wars's own problems for clicks rather than doing anything kind. You know what I mean? To Star Wars or talking about anything kind. And it for me, it always comes back to this. Just it's more of a meta commentary on how far Disney has allowed the narrative to like spin out of control, man. You know what I mean? Like how many more arrows are they going to give to the detractors? You know, it's just it seems really, really dumb, frankly.
Give a mouse a cookie.
At the same time, though, I mean, it wouldn't even really be out there if it wasn't asked, if the question wasn't asked during that interview. I mean, if they didn't have that conversation, then it would have simply been Boba Fett's starship on that Lego piece, and nobody would be none the wiser. I mean, that, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't Disney didn't make this push or go out and say, hey, we're no longer calling it the Slave One. You know, that didn't happen. That was because of this article. You know what I mean? So
no, I agree with that. I guess what I'm saying is that like all the things they did before allowed the narrative to foster so much in the community that like you're right. Like you're absolutely right. This was really, if anybody's started this, it was probably Screen Rant. From what I understand, they were one of the first ones that like caught this and then spun it the way that it did, and then it just blew up. But again, it that wouldn't even have been an opportunity had in all the other instances before Disney just taken a better company line for really what I would say is you know, culture war type issues. They've had just a constant problem with culture war issues, social media personalities, and sort of that line of engagement with fans. So I totally get what you're saying, Callis, because it's really not like just with the Dave Filoni thing too. They didn't announce that. They just changed it on their website, and the internet was like, dude, Dave Filoni got this crazy promotion. Kathy's out, and it's like this thing, and then they get mad at the thing it turns into, but they had every chance down the road to have at least put some input into that narrative. Do you know what I mean? So I got nothing left for him, bro. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm being honest, I got nothing left for him.
I just want to be happy again. That's all I want. I just want to be happy again, man. I feel like every time we get something awesome, I can smell it on the horizon. Like it's low barometric pressure. Something's coming right after it that's going to ruin my mood. You know what I mean?
Right. What do you think they can do? Because this kind of feels like, I mean, and like Josh said, you know, I'm sure they could have done things to prevent things to get to this point, but right now it seems like everything is being looked at through a fine-tooth comb to find something wrong to again get those clicks and generate that attention.
Sure. I agree.
Well, what could they do? Just
Release Kenobi.
Well, definitely content will help, right? A bunch of dope content will absolutely help because it'll shift the narrative. And if they make enough awesome stuff, that will become the narrative. It'll be like, yo, Star Wars is killing it right now. Remember when Star Wars wasn't? And, you know, blah, blah, blah. Winning solves everything for sure. But absent of that, because here's the thing, even if they put out shows like right now, I think Bad Batch is a damn fine show and it's still getting crapped on a lot just because it's not the best thing ever. And Star Wars fans are not happy, generally speaking. So I think, honestly, from a PR position,
are they really not? Where is this? Where are you hearing this from?
No, it's everywhere, bro.
Yeah, like Bad Batch, but it is not being received anywhere nearly as unanimously positively as Clone Wars was. So it's
Well, of course. I mean,
but I think part of that is the bed that Disney has made. So for them to get out of it, I really think that there needs to be a clear shift in leadership. Like, again, I mean, Kathy Kennedy needs to go, but kind of Kathy Kennedy needs to go. Like, they need to literally be like, this is the new thing. This is our new Star Wars. And then you might have people give it a shot. It's the same thing that happens with sports teams. The same thing happens with businesses. You get a new CEO in, right? Like, you flip it. Give somebody a reason to think that the future will be different than what you're currently experiencing. That's my take.
We're definitely in a rebuild phase right now, for sure.
I mean, is that not what Dave Filoni's promotion is about, though?
Right.
Well, yeah, but think about this. I agree, but where's the front-facing PR? They hid behind that. They did it on a website and tried to completely downplay it. You know what I mean? Like, they wouldn't respond to people. Just people came to them being like, this is out there. Do you have a response? Nothing, bro. So, yeah, I agree. Like, it's great. But why do I have to create that positive narrative for Lucasfilm? Shouldn't have to.
Well, you don't. You don't.
Right.
Yeah, look, like I've said, I just feel like I just don't want it to turn into, yo, what's up, Sheev? How you doing, man?
Hey.
I just don't want it to turn into some sort of thing where they start changing stuff from here on in. And again, if this is true, they're actually doing this for, which I know X-Wing, you said that it seems like it's more official that they're actually changing the name. Then I just feel like that's kind of silly because it's like, what else are you going to change? Where does the buck stop?
Yeah,
You're going to do this.
If they go that route where it actually changes in lore, then it's different. That's a different argument. Yeah. And then we're all putting our dukes up.
That's my only argument.
Yeah.
If it changes just for Lego, well, whatever.
Yeah, at that point, who cares?
No one knows what the invisible hand is. They just think,
Right.
Oh, Grievous is ship. Oh, what's the invisible hand? Dude, I said that in a video once. People were like, what?
Who's in
but look, that's the thing with Star Wars. You have a spectrum of fans. You have people who are just like a casual, whatever. I've seen Star Wars. And then you have the diehard who like know the freaking model ship of every single ship in Star Wars. That they're like, it's this nice spectrum, and you don't want to piss off any side of them. I would say don't piss off the side that are more loyal, because these ones are more likely from a business standpoint to be buying the stuff that you sell versus the people who are just like, yeah, I've seen Star Wars. It's whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough, man. You got to find a balance for sure, and bringing new fans in and keeping the old ones can be tough, but I don't feel like they've done a super good job of keeping the sweaties happy at this point. A lot of us basement dwellers are all upset, man.
Tell me about it. I mean, and you just got to look at Marvel, you know what I mean? And again, it's like Marvel's not perfect. Like, they've kind of stuck their foot in it recently with some stuff as well. But overall, like, they give all the toys to all the different kinds of kids. Do you know what I mean? Like, when they made the announcement of Miss Marvel and She-Hulk, they paired it with Moon Knight. You know what I mean? And they were like, here's all the toys for all you kids. Like, they're going to do their stuff that's, for a certain demo, maybe left-leaning, maybe progressive, whatever. But then they're going to give you, like, crazy Abomination, like, hopefully some crazy Red Hulk and, Punisher down the line, Moon Knight, like stuff that's going to hit that side of the demo as well. So I think, honestly, just balance, you know what I mean? Balance is probably what's needed most.
And I think they're heading in that direction. I feel like things have gotten definitely smoother. And a lot of the announcements that were made during the investor day overall got very positive reaction. So I really do think that we're heading towards a smoother future.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, they're moving. Yeah, I totally. They're moving pretty far away from sequel stuff, like, which was the most divisive thing that Disney's released so far, and arguably, what are the next things we're gonna get? Book of Boba Fett, Ahsoka, Kenobi. Like, those are properties that, generally speaking, have kept people happy, and people were so satisfied with The Mandalorian, and that set a really good precedent for live action television for Star Wars. So I think. I don't know. I'd like to remain optimistic that they are pushing towards a more agreeable future of Star Wars. And we'll probably see that, or be able to determine that in December when Book of Boba comes around and see what happens there and what the outcome of that show is.
Sawyer said it best, man.
Yeah.
Stay optimistic. Just stay optimistic.
What's up, Santa?
Hey,
What's up,
hey,
Santa?
Santa.
oh, it's been a minute. Good to see you guys. You know, Lord Callis did a fantastic video on this whole thing, and there's been plenty of posts about it. And it just feels to me like we're giving way too much credibility to some clickbait. Granted, there could be a narrative going on, but it is so unlikely that that is a thing. Look, I've pre-ordered my vintage collection Slave One months ago, and I'll guarantee you that when that thing comes in the mail in a couple of weeks, it's going to say Slave One on it. And this whole narrative is about just raging people up for no good reason. Now, I get it that there's a culture out there that already has it, like there's fuel already there to be ignited. And people are just taking the opportunity to spin a narrative into a flame that otherwise would not have gotten any traction. But the only reason this is getting traction is because of the culture that's there. But you know, in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, when my vintage collection Slave One reissue comes out, then this whole thing is going to be a non-story, and it'll be like, whoa, we got all raged out over nothing.
Unless
I don't think it'll be.
didn't.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be effective within 3 weeks. I think it's something that they're definitely working on. But as for it just being in Lego toys or being in the movies, I don't know. I guess we have to see.
Book of Boba is going to be the big tell for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Everybody's gonna be eagle eyes on Book of Boba now.
Yeah.
I hate that
Yeah.
though. Like, man, I don't want to be thinking about that when I get there.
But
you know what?
where did you see that? Where did you see? You said some
It's on,
Comic-Con?
it's on a live stream. Matt Risman has the link for it and the timestamp. It was for Wonderfest, and they were going through all the different Star Trek models, and then they moved on to the Star Wars models. They go through like upgrades to the TIE Defender, and then they go, and here's our Boba Fett starship. We didn't want to call it that, but you know that wasn't our decision, so that's what it is. And that was it.
Dang.
Wasn't
Ice
anything
cold-
crazy, but I mean,
ice cold mouse house.
No, it's not
bro.
crazy at all, but it's you know, it's what we're talking about. As Star Wars fans, we're pretty entitled, and of course, if something is ingrained within 40 years of understanding, you know, it's like it's not as serious as changing Luke's name to Jeffrey, but it's kind of like, you know, why?
Jeffrey
Imagine that.
Skywalker.
I don't want that.
That would be fucking crazy.
Jeffrey.
I need an AU with Jeffrey.
Jeffrey Skywalker.
But like Josh said, you know, it is still, even though we have Bad Batch, it's still a pretty dry period for Star Wars because, you know, yeah, I'm sure there's a few new people watching Bad Batch, but the people who are really invested right now are people who have seen and are, you know, very much involved with the Clone Wars era. Like,
dude,
you
I
know,
love
I don't typically tell people to watch Bad Batch if they haven't seen Clone Wars. So like, there's just a small fraction of the fandom that's like really into that right now, and it's coming out once a week. So yeah, this little stuff, people are gonna, you know, dry period for Star Wars. People are gonna talk about whatever comes up.
And the fact that they haven't renamed it also gives us the opportunity to continue to call it Slave One.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, the fact that it's Boba Fett's starship, right? If it comes home in the box as Boba Fett's starship, I'm gonna unbox it and tell my son this is Slave One.
Yeah.
I'm not
sure.
gonna.
No different.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's being called something entirely different, and
Right.
because
Okay,
that's
so-
where
But here's the deal: 6 months from now, Callus, you'll
that's
be
when
at
I'm that's when I'm
Legoland.
flipping out.
You're gonna be at Legoland, bro, and you're gonna be telling the young
Okay,
one
so
about
we're
it.
gonna
and
have
they're
to
gonna slap you
assemble
on the wrist. They're
in 6
gonna
months.
take you out of the mall. They're gonna be like, "This man called this toy Slave One," and then they take you away from your own kid, man. That's where this is going.
I wish a motherfucker would try to take me back.
Go, let's go. Oh man, that's awesome.
I mean, hey, my sister's driving that car now, and she told me the other day that she named it something else, and I'm like, no, this is Slave One. It was my car first. So
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah,
That's fair.
That's a little.
I'm
messed
sorry,
up.
Steven, if I missed your super chat. He says Santa was right. The echo chamber is funny to see. I hope you don't mean this is an echo chamber. I feel like we all have very, very differing opinions, and that's what makes this conversation interesting.
Is there an echo in here?
No,
Yes.
no, I don't
Yes.
think he was referring to this. I think he was referring to the area that Nana was talking
the
about.
articles and stuff made. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like a
Well,
lot of
that's-
that too. It's not even people that care about Star Wars. They're not
Yeah.
people that care about Star Wars. They're just there to get traffic and do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Websites make 10 times as much as YouTube does.
Their CPMs
Mhm.
are crazy on websites.
Crazy, ridiculous. Like so they have a very high. If YouTubers have an incentive to clickbait, there is 10 times the incentive to do that on websites.
Or just don't.
And really very, very little recourse if they're giving out incorrect information
Yeah,
or
'cause it-
misleading
right.
stuff.
Exactly.
Well,
Because
I mean,
it's such a huge corporation. It's not one person.
Bro,
Yeah.
that title from Screen Rant, this is aggressive, bro. Like, I'm just saying, Disney
Yeah.
is moving away from using Slave One name for Boba Fett ship. Bro, it's right there. And, like, I'm just telling you,
Revealed.
like, they would not have wrote this 2 years ago. They would have been sniffing Ryan Johnson's butt. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, things have changed. It's crazy. It's crazy. to
That's
see.
the game.
Yeah.
I don't
It's crazy.
play.
How do you guys feel about Omega being Boba's twin
Omega.
sister?
I
I
like it.
actually really like it.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
Sister.
Yeah.
Yo, I called it last week. I said there's nothing special about her. She's just so they can make more clones.
You lie.
Check the tape.
Oh yeah, I
Check the
remember.
clip. Check the tape.
No, you know, when the season started, I called it. She's not force sensitive. She's not one of Palpatine's clones. She's Boba's sister.
Mhm.
So that's the way it is. Now we still don't know if she has an enhancement. My personal opinion is that she has enhanced perception, but beyond that, we don't know if she has anything else other than being a practical replica of Boba in female form.
I feel like the Bad Batch themselves, the genetic mutations, are all aspects of Jango Fett that were just heightened. And so the thoughts of mimicry with Omega is accurate because being a genetic, a perfect
Absolutely,
clone, she has all of those features, she's just
Yeah,
not
but-
going to be lifting up starships like Wrecker.
So my thing is, I thought because she's an unaltered clone, she actually doesn't have a genetic mutation. If she's an exact copy of Boba,
Right.
isn't she unaltered? She
Unless
wouldn't know.
Unless
Alteration
Boba
is
was
the
just like
female.
OP.
What's up?
Unless
The
Boba was just
alteration
super OP.
The alteration would have been
Her female?
female.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if she is truly like a direct clone with absolutely no alteration, she would be male.
Yeah, unless you're doing comic book rules. There's a lot of female clones in comic books. Peter Parker's got one.
Mhm.
Yeah.
As a scientist, I really want to one of these days I need to sit down and figure it out. Someone asked me the other day, "Oh, Sawyer, you're a biologist. How accurate is this?" And I was like, "Well, it's not, but let me think about that." So,
I'm going to ask Shaylee. She might have something as well.
you think? I think so, indeed.
Oh, somebody touch base. Look, we've been theorizing about this too. Boba's the Alpha, Omega, of course, in the white prototype armor, right? So we saw this armor
Yeah.
on Sid's. We saw this armor on Sid's shelf, right? And because we have the plate on
Cat
Cat
Bane.
Bane.
Cad Bane's head, that means the duel with Boba likely already happened.
Yeah.
Right.
Which means
into
Boba
it.
already has a new helmet. Boba already has his Mando gear, right? So the helmet could very well be Omega's in the future. We could see her show up in this white proto armor, and that would fit in with the Alpha Omega. If you look at Boba Fett's color scheme as a whole, it's more of a darker kind of shade, right? It's got that.
What does that mean for my cartoon, though? Omega's got like a gnarly, deep voice.
Look, I think
I'm Omega now.
Very well when he finds this connection to Boba Fett. And Tech has already discovered it, right? Tech has already said Boba is the other one, right? He's the Alpha. And if they connect her to Boba Fett, and I think it's guaranteed we're going to see Boba Fett this season, as she learns that Jango was Mando. Boba is Mando. Then why wouldn't she be Mando? And if she could claim that same heritage, Omega Fett, so to speak, right? If she's Omega Fett, then why wouldn't she go ahead and pick up that helmet that Sid's and get the rest of the armor? And
Or
go.
maybe she changes her name entirely because Boba didn't keep Alpha.
That's right.
So-
I would love to see what name she picks, and I really do think that she may pick up the Fett last name.
Yeah.
That's cool. I think she's gonna die, dude. I don't think she's gonna make it out of this series.
That's kind of where I'm
I'm
at.
not sure if she'll pick up the Fett name just because of her attachment to the Bad Batch. I think she would see the Bad Batch and Hunter as more of her family rather than the Fetts.
I do too, but it doesn't mean she wouldn't go ahead and claim that, because she's learning that that her family, right? Nala Se was her mother figure, and now she's learning, like, wait a minute, the Kaminoans are up to no good, and she may break off with that and adopt her family name, the Fett. I also wondered, and this is a good question for some of you who are really, really deep in lore. So, what are the possibilities she might pick up with Fennec Shand during the original trilogy era and be running with her?
I love that.
Yeah, we see in the original trilogy where they have all the bounty hunters come in, but we don't see Fennec there. Fennec was out doing something, and Fennec's already reached out to Omega a couple times saying, "Hey, kid, I'm trying to help you." Right. Now, that being said, Omega's not really buying into being kidnapped's a good way to help.
and there absolutely has to be some sort of a tie-in, because, or at least the way that I'm looking at it, when I see how Boba and Fennec are connected in The Mandalorian and now in the book of Boba Fett, and then to think about this person was first introduced to his sister how many years ago, right? How many decades ago? And now the two of them are running together because, yes, Fennec is working for Nala Se right now, but do we know that will continue to happen? Maybe she eventually works for Boba, maybe, because she has that idea of where Omega is, you know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. I mean, that connection to me is it's just so crazy. I can't wait to see more from it.
Yeah. I was just trying to go back and find some of my notes that I had made, but there's a like a small little canon, like, short story, and happens in Wild Space, where they run into Hondo, and he actually talks about a female clone. Now, this came out years ago. So that's probably not what they're thinking, but he does give a name which starts with an M, and I can't remember what it is. I'm gonna kick myself until I find that note. But no, I agree with Santa. I could definitely see her going off with Fennec, who's actually trying to reach out to her. They get their own little partnership going. That's where they are, and that's why Boba feels a kinship. Like, I can't picture Boba normally finding someone wounded, in the sand and, like, helping her, but maybe
I think
help my little sister.
There has to be something there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is anybody else excited for Rogue? Nobody's talking about Rogue. I'm so excited for Rogue. I'm X-Wing, bro. Like, I am so excited for Rogue.
The Patty Jenkins movie?
Honestly, dude, I'm like, whatever.
Come on.
I'm excited about it, but we know like nothing about it. We just got a writer, right?
We got a writer. He did Love and Monsters, which was, that was pretty cool. And then he also did Dora the Explorer, which, like, all right, cool. Whatever.
I like Patty Jenkins.
I actually like Dora the Explorer movie.
It's weird that she got that big with the Wonder Woman 1984, though.
Yeah.
I gotta say, though, Patty Jenkins' backstory of her father being a fighter pilot, that gives me hope, because I want to care about the people in the ships and not just going like, that's cool action, but if she can capture, like, this is what they're leaving at home whenever they go out to fight for freedom.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I need, like, a human story with like Bucketheads just came out. I was talking to Transmute Pictures the other night, and I was telling them, I was like, the best thing you guys did was you took the helmets off and you created a human story, and we're missing, like, those really normal human stories in Star Wars. So I'm really excited for it. I hope that's what they do. I just wanted to hear what you guys thought.
No, I'm pumped for it. I think it's cool.
I'm pumped too. Yeah. Well, I'm not pumped. I'm just I'm waiting to see what it's going to be about. So it's more content. So cool. Sweet.
I'm pumped until otherwise. Until they say we're changing the X-wings to
More
crosswings.
Star Wars stuff is always good.
Fair enough.
Well, I don't have much else to say. Do you guys have anything else you want to? Did you want to plug all of your social medias? And if you like, we can start with Sawyer, so now everyone knows Josh's.
Yeah, I'm Sawyerism on TikTok and Twitter now, and YouTube soon. But lately, I've been making Resident Evil content, and that's blowing up on TikTok. So I don't know. I've been sidelined a little bit, but yeah, I do a lot of like Legends lore content is what I usually do. So you can find me there.
Cool.
I have an Instagram. It's Lauren Blair, but Lauren is spelled with 2 A's and 2 E's.
Lauren.
Nice. Well, I'm X-Wing. You may have seen me once before with Theory and Josh, but I didn't look like this. I looked like a pixelated 1986 version of it. They spurred me to start YouTube. They gave me the courage to do it, so I did. And we've been kind of a budding community. You know, we've 512 strong. We've got a Discord that's free. It's awesome. We do trivia nights on Tuesdays. We do gaming nights, all kinds of different stuff. It's fun. Join up, pick your squadron, and I'm in there every day. I'd love to talk to you guys, man. We're just a community of fans.
Dope.
Is that me now?
That's you now.
Yeah.
Oh, I appreciate it. I mean, each time you guys do this, I love it. So I appreciate this opportunity. Thank you guys for.
We appreciate you guys coming on, man.
Yeah, I mean, this is just awesome. I just love chopping it up with you guys, even when we have different.
It's fun.
Different opinions and stuff. So, but it's Lord Callus on YouTube, Callus Lord on Twitter, and I think Lord Callus also on Instagram. I do Legends. I do canon. Just Star Wars. I'm where Star Wars lives, is what I say. So yeah, come check me out.
Yep. And I'm Darth Chaco on YouTube, on TikTok, Darth Chaco 7 on Twitter, but I still don't quite know how to use Twitter. I've been tweeting more, but we'll
keep it that way.
I know.
Twitter bad.
Truly.
Let's see. I have the High Ground podcast. Hopefully, we will be doing something with. I'll be reaching out to Sawyer and Callus, and hopefully, we'll do some of that. But yeah, that's me.
Well, then it's my turn. Star Wars Santa, and I've been a member of the Den of Nerds community since way back. Love the Den and that community. We started our own Discord server just to talk about Star Wars stuff, and of course, Star Wars Santa on YouTube. You can find me there, and Twitter as well. Like many others, I don't do much on Twitter. I just post when I'm doing stuff on YouTube, and then I get out.
There you go.
I've mirrored myself from Theory very well. My mentor, good job. So I try to stay away from Twitter that way. The channel's been growing tremendously, and I can't thank you guys enough. We've got a great community, and we're coming up on those 4,000 hours to be monetized. And
cool!
My birthday is coming up next month. If I could just get a quick little cameo to come in and give you guys a chance to celebrate with me, I would really appreciate it. It'd be great.
I'll try to work it out, Santa, for sure. What day are you thinking about doing it?
July 22nd is Santa's birthday.
Oh, so, I'm July 20th. I'm turning 30.
Hey,
cool, man.
So if I could, all of you, if you reach out to me, I'll open up the invite and have you on for 2 minutes. And you can get in, you can get out, and we can just celebrate together. Really,
I'll be there, brother.
Thank you.
Sounds awesome.
It'd be really sweet.
Thank you so much.
Cool. We'll chat you guys next week. And see you then.
See you guys.
Wait. No, wait.
And you're sounding like